Hey guys, Group Long Way Back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Calvin.
Eric.
And we are back with some San Diego Comic-Con information. This one I don't believe is a trailer. This one is some kind of like put together amalgamation of like panel stuff.
Okay.
Where it's like there was information that came out, but there wasn't like an actual trailer.
Okay.
And some of that stuff is more of like, we don't know when a trailer will come, so we're going to check this out so that we don't get spoiled other ways. Kind of thing. That's how I understand it.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, since I got here this morning, it's like, have you seen anything? Did you get spoiled? I was like, I haven't seen anything, so I'm excited.
I saw a thing.
You saw some stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing. It was a pretty big thing.
I was playing a game with someone and something happened. They're like, oh my gosh, there's this thing and it's trending on Twitter and it's really big. Don't go to Twitter. And I was like,
see, that's your mistake.
And I was like, okay. He's like, just do your best.
Gotcha.
But they didn't want to tell me. I'm like, is there a trailer? Like, no, there's no trailer. It's just information. So
gotta stay off the internet.
I'm just waiting to see.
Forever. That solves everything.
I gotta do that with Deadpool. I gotta do that with this.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna see what they have here.
Okay, we're going Marvel.
That's
Hello,
so cool.
Marvelites! Ryan Panagos, aka Agent M here, just out of Hall H at Comic-Con. Y'all, it may have been the loudest I've ever heard it here in all my years going to Hall H. It was rocking right from the start.
What the?
Definitely Deadpool taking over. Is that a mall? Mall crew back there?
Okay, so that's why they're all red and yellow. There's the Deadpool kind of T-Rex.
Well, it was there, but it was having fun.
It's a little Wolverine.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Good to see ya. Hey, Anthony.
Hey.
Anthony, a few years ago, Tom Holland made a joke about how you don't have your own Falcon movie. What would you say to him now?
Well, he said, I didn't have a movie. And I said, well, you're not 5'11". See what I'm talking about? I got a movie, but he ain't gonna be 5'11", no.
Anthony, unlike Steve Rogers, Sam doesn't have the super soldier serum. How does Sam's lack of superpowers affect your approach to the action scenes?
Sam is surrounded by a host of very good, intricate characters that help him move through the plot of the story. He's not so much a muscle-bound guy. He's more of a cerebral, thoughtful character.
Tim, it's been 16 years since you first played this role. What's different about the leader this time around?
The leader.
I really
Dude, I'm gonna watch it
I really can't say much because
Say it. Give it to him, Tim. Give it to him.
No spoilers. I want them to bring me back.
Yeah, this is
How long is
He'll
it
wait
been?
for
Danny,
that
you're no
call.
stranger to the skies. Can you share anything about the sequences in this film? How are those wings, and what's the secret to looking cool while flying
is this
through
the
the
other
air?
Falcon?
That's one of the first times I hear it out loud too, said in the public. But I feel at home in the skies, and so it's cool to take these wings that have gone through many iterations and some wear and tear for years and years. I thought they also came with knee braces too because they're a little bit older, but.
Hey, Giancarlo. Hey, you've been talking about wanting to join the MCU for a while. What does it mean to finally step into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
You know, it's like a dream come true. When your dreams come true and you get the call, you walk through the door. But to be with this cast, especially Anthony Mackie, who brings it every single time in every way that he possibly can. Can I say it? Can I say it? I can say it. Wow. Can finally unleash it. I am the king of the Serpent Society. I am Seth Bolker, Sidewinder.
Sidewinder.
They're doing Serpent Society. Oh, that's cool.
That's a load off my shoulders.
Like the what was it? Invincible Lizard. Dude, that's
Oh, I want to be a rage monster so bad.
That's Harrison Ford. Tell Tom Holland I got Harrison Ford. Tell Tom Holland I got.
You can't say that. Too much energy. For
Yeah,
this.
it's been like this for a long time. But this is a character that's based on a lot of history, and I am delighted, and I am proud to become a member of the Marvel Universe.
The cast of Captain America: Brave New World. Thank you.
Tim Blake Nelson, John Carlos Esposito, Danny Ramirez, Harrison Ford.
You
It's
walk
going
out like
down,
a
man.
baby.
We got him. We got him. We got him.
After Harrison Ford and the Brave New
Yeah,
World
so
crew
funny.
tore down the house, it was on to Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts.
He can come out and say, I hate you.
Yeah!
Thunderbolts.
Dude,
San Diego Comic-Con! It is I, Alexei Shostakov! I've come here today to introduce you to the brand new team of heroes in the MCU!
Oh my God.
he's in full costume. That's great.
You guys didn't dress up? Well, thank you. But I'm out of here. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. God, Florence Pugh. You think that girl has your back and she just really doesn't?
Hey, Sebastian. Sebastian, it's been over 13 years, 8 movie appearances, a live-action series. You're a Marvel veteran at this point. What stands out for you about Thunderbolts?
Not David Harbour. This one, I think. This one right here.
Florence, a lot of these characters don't necessarily play well with others. What can you tell us about the team dynamic?
Oh, but that's the joy of watching them together, is that they don't play well together. In terms of their dynamics, I mean, we had a real ride because we actually loved working with each other, and we clearly understand each other because we've all accidentally matched, bar Lewis.
So Geraldine and Lewis, welcome to the MCU. What can you tell us? What can you tell us about the characters you play?
I mean, I'm sure you understand the challenges and the weight and responsibility of a 3-letter name, right?
Yeah.
Rob, Bob. I'm sure that you know as much as I do about Bob.
Okay, terrific. Hannah, what can you say about your character's heel turn?
Coming back and working with such incredible actors and characters as well, it's been such an honor and a pleasure. And where we left Ava and where we find Ava and how she works with others is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how her power
right.
normalizes too.
Hi,
She's
Julia.
still going through some-
Hi, Rob.
We've seen hints. We've seen hints of Valentina as a sly puppet master working behind the scenes. But
Yes.
we see a lot more of her in this movie. What is she after?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked me that question. Valentina, is after power, control, and I would say just generally she's wants to kick ass in the Marvel universe. I think that's a good answer.
I like it.
The answer's
Hey,
probably
Wyatt,
so vague.
what can you tease about your character?
That
That everyone's gonna love me. I don't know, Rob. I get put up on this stage. I feel like having this is a recurring thing. I could just say I don't know, and you have some pure joy out of me, having no clue what to say. And so whatever comes out and you guys watch and you guys see on film was one of my favorite experiences that I've ever had working. Just being with a group of great people, and that I hope comes through. Honestly.
Aww.
Excited.
I mean,
to do that role again now
I
that
want to
I've seen
reiterate what Wyatt said about this group of people. I had one of the greatest experiences of my life working on this movie as well. They're all wonderful, but I do have a favorite, and her name is Florence Pugh, and I think she's this up and coming actress. You may hear more about her in the future. But we do get to go to a lot of great places, and it was truly such a joy to work with these people, and I'm really proud of what we did.
After Thunderbolts, it was on to the third film of 2025, Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four: First Step.
Whoa!
Pedro!
Whoa!
By the way,
I have a new
this is the
person
first
excited for
time
now. Right?
all in public Marvel's first family.
That's right. I forgot.
And you journeyed through the decades with WandaVision, and we know that Fantastic Four.
WandaVision had directed every episode.
And we know that Fantastic Four is set in a version of 1960s New York. Were there any 60s details you wanted to make sure to include?
I mean, the same approach to the powers. We want to do our research. We want to be authentic. We want to bring it to life in a very real way. But at the same time, we also are not doing just the 60s, right? We're doing a retro future 60s. So a lot of it was about finding inspiration from the futurists of that time, especially Sid Mead, and using that as sort of inspiration to build a whole new world that is part the New York that you know from the 60s and something you've never seen before.
Hey, Pedro, you've had a role in some pretty... You've had a role in some pretty impressive nerd franchises. What feels different about joining the MCU?
New family. Nobody knows that Matt and I have known each other for like 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And we started with the same talent manager, actually, and he almost became my roommate in 1999, but he came and he saw the place and was like, yeah, I'm good. So that's different.
That's a true story, yep.
Oh, I love that. Hey, Vanessa and Joseph, you two play siblings. Did you do any brother-sister bonding to prepare?
Well, we're both the only Brits in the cast, aren't we, pretty much?
That's the truth.
So we're going to get down the pub and make everyone come with us, because we're filming in London, aren't we? And we're the Londoners, so we've got to show everyone a good time.
Seems only right, yes.
Right on. Hey, Eben, we're here in Hall H with some MCU veterans. Did you get any advice from fellow Marvel actors about joining the MCU?
Good question, Rob. I did, you know what, actually, I did, this is going to be a boring, fairly earnest answer, but I got a really nice text message from Mark Ruffalo because, you know, to sort of demystify the process of motion capture, and because it's something I've never really done before. I was a bit scared of the technology and just sort of saying, you know, it's just like, you know, making scenes like, you know, normal scene work.
Right on.
So, that was real advice.
That's very nice. Hey, Joseph, with the 60-plus years legacy of this title, and this being Marvel Studios' first venture with these characters, what's one thing you hope to bring out from your character that fans could be excited for?
Evan? What am I going to bring to it? I think we're all collectively going to bring an essence that is a family. Rather than thinking about what we individually are going to bring, it's a team sport, this, and we're all going to work very hard to bring a feeling of a family to this film. Right. That's what it needs.
Amen.
I like it. Got a question for Vanessa. What new things have you learned about your family?
I don't think I've laughed so much in a rehearsal period before. We laugh so much, and it's so beautiful to be at work. And, you know, we're all really so dedicated to try and make it the best we can, and we feel so kind of, we want to do it justice, and it's amazing reading the comics from the 60s and all the way up and seeing this family that has traveled with so many people in life, and I feel so honored to be, a part of it, and but to laugh through it, which I hope we can capture in the movie, because when you read the comics, it's got such joy in it, and so I think we can all say we've laughed a lot. We've cried with laughter many days, so hopefully we can bring that to the movies.
But you start shooting on Monday back in the UK. Don't you have to get to work?
We got to go.
Yeah. Get on the plane tonight.
I'm much more excited having seen
They literally have to fly back, but the good thing about that is they have their own fantastic car, which will take them back to the UK hopefully very, very quickly.
Dude, that's their car?
They brought it to Hall H? Yeah. They're flying it in Hall H.
Now, back to London to start shooting the Fantastic Four. The entire cast. Thanks, guys.
Oh, but it didn't end with the films of 2025. Kevin still had some surprises in store.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, Joe and Anthony Russo.
I've heard about this.
When we directed Avengers Endgame, Joe and I truly believed that it was the end of the road for us in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because we had put all of our passion, all our love, all our imagination into the Winter Soldier, into Civil War, into Infinity War, climaxing all of it with Avengers Endgame.
This is some of my favorite movies too.
That 4-movie run was incredible, and it left us creatively spent with all of our emotions on the floor. In the time since, through a very special story, Joe and I have come to potentially see a road forward with you all.
Okay. Which story? I don't know.
And it's the biggest story that Marvel Comics ever told. It's the first comic book run that I read as a kid that made me fall in love with comics. It's the reason that Anthony and I are standing up here. And I think you all know the name of it.
The name?
Ooh, Secret Wars.
I mean, I feel like we've been
getting
to that.
As fans of the comic know, Secret Wars is incredibly ambitious. The magnitude of the filmmaking, the vastness of the storytelling, world-colliding epicness, all of this made Joe and I understand that we would need to make another essential movie first in order for all of us to be ready for Secret Wars.
Yep, there is one very, very important character that is required, and it could be the most important character in all of the Marvel universe.
Oh, Doom?
Wait, what's going on?
That's cool. Okay, so we need Doom. What?
Okay. What does this mean? You got your glasses on. Okay. So he is Dr. Doom?
New mask.
What?
Same task.
Dude.
What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Okay.
Wow.
Secret Wars, Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I can see where you're going.
Okay. Wow. All right. Like Robert said, new mask, same task. And the task for all of us, including everybody in this room together, is for us to help create the greatest possible experience that we can all have together in a movie theater. So let's get to it. Bring your imagination, your love, and your passion, and we will see you in 2 years with Doomsday.
Doomsday.
2 years, 2026.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Avengers Doomsday.
Y'all,
Dude,
I
so
was
he's
not
Doom?
kidding. It was so incredibly loud. It was wonderful, fantastic. We're going to assemble for so much more in time. Make sure you're following Marvel across all social media for all the updates. I'm Ryan. This is Marvel, your universe.
Is that what you knew?
That's what I saw.
You were sitting on that bombshell, huh?
Dude, I was so confused at first. I thought it was photoshopped.
Okay. So Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Doom. I mean, this would certainly not to be the first time we've had an actor play two different roles.
No.
This would be the most.
I mean, if it's
unless he's a. Go ahead.
So it's not going to be tied to the Fantastic Four then? It's going to be a different thing, right? With Doomsday and Secret Wars, like he's somewhere else. Because I don't know what they're doing with Fantastic Four being from the '60s.
Well, we have
like taking a multiverse thing where like this Robert Downey Jr. here. Versus this Dr. Doom over here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you see Dr. Doom's face?
Well, I mean, you see it. He has a whole story about vanity and that type of thing. But this is certainly new. It's certainly like I'm going to assume that means that he's a multiversal Tony.
Maybe.
Or something like that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the thing just said Dr. Doom. It didn't say, like, Victor Von Doom or anything.
Yeah.
I had seen that at some point where someone posted, like, a thing being like, Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Iron Man. And I was like, that's all right, I guess. Like, I like where he ended, you know? I don't know that I need him back, but if they do something cool, they do something cool. But
I mean, people have been saying that about every movie since he was gone, too.
Sure.
Like, I mean, he was supposed to be in Spider-Man, and then he was going to be in Doctor Strange, and then he was going to be in, I wouldn't be surprised if he's Deadpool. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Which I also haven't seen Deadpool. I know that came out. I haven't seen it. I'm saving myself for the reaction.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I'm
it
just
either.
so surprised.
But yeah, I mean, that's
I figured
that's
they'd get someone
huge
new.
news. I mean, I'm lucky. I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 all weekends. I didn't see anything, but that's huge. Now, if I know anything about the internet and the temperature of the current internet space, this was either widely accepted or critically panned, and there is no in between.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume one of those two things happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I hear that, I'm like, ooh, okay. My first thought isn't supreme hype, because I was expecting someone to pull that off, and it was going to be Cillian Murphy or someone that I've fan casted as Doctor Doom for a while. I did not expect Robert Downey Jr. So my first feeling was confusion, which means the internet, I feel like feeling is absolutely I hate it.
Sure.
Magnified times 10.
I get what
50.
you mean. He did that, and it's like, wait, is he Doom?
Yeah.
Is he here to
Yeah.
announce
Sure.
something else? Like, what's going on?
But I'm also incredibly open to new ideas too, and especially if the Russo brothers, who have for me delivered each time they've had a Marvel venture, if they say, "Hey, we have a fun story," then I'm going to be there to hear it.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And Robert Downey Jr. as a villain for Doctor Doom, like, could be really fun.
I mean, let's just
that could be a neat.
If we
thing to
divorce him
experience.
from Tony Stark, which is I know it's impossible to do, but if I step away, like, oh my God, we're going to have this amazing actor go into this role. I mean,
Sure.
this guy can work.
Well,
you
I
know?
mean, yeah, I get you. Like, trying to
Yeah.
separate him, but even he put on those sunglasses and did this, and I thought of Tony Stark.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like, that's the.
Those are Tony Stark's sunglasses.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm
How do I
intrigued.
disconnect these two? Or
I'm
they're
so
not
intrigued.
meant to be disconnected. You know,
Yeah, sure.
in some ways, like you said, like it is in this scenario, Tony Stark became Doctor Doom.
Okay.
You know, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Doomsday and Secret War is so cool. That'd be such a sweet movie. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much you could do with that.
It's
so many characters.
It's ripe. And it's also one of those
They
things
said
too.
it's the biggest, most ambitious thing that they've ever done.
Yeah, like I can't imagine it being under 3 hours.
Bigger than Endgame is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to not think about anything but Doom right now, just because it's such a huge departure. But honestly, that might be better for me, because I hear Secret Wars, and I'm filling in my mind all the things that you can do. But then you put in a wrinkle like that, and suddenly it unravels all my expectations. And I'm like, what will they do? And I think what will they do in that question is a little more exciting than me just anticipating Secret Wars.
Sure.
As I know it, you know? So,
Well, I mean, in the idea of like all these multiversal heroes and stuff that you
Exactly.
could pull in from whatever, like
yeah.
you could have like Chris Evans's Human Torch could show up in Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Like that's a possibility. You could do that, and you have 2 Human Torches flying around, but one's just an older, more experienced one because he was in the previous movies. You know, like
Yeah,
you
sure.
could do that kind of stuff if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like he shows up and you think he's Captain America, but he's really Human Torch. Like you'd be like, oh shit, and then he turns the fire on. And, oh shit, what?
You look like a friend of mine.
Yeah, like that would mess with me.
Yeah.
I'd be like-
Yeah.
Because if I saw Chris Evans in MCU, I'd jump to Captain America. You know.
I think it really highlights how much I don't think about the trick that these writers have to pull off, which is, hey, you know the stories that everybody knows and loves and also expects? It's like, we're going to adapt those, but also try to entertain you in a way that you don't see coming.
Yeah.
Which is like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
And I feel like people fall off when
Like, tell
when
it how
happens.
people are expecting, but
Yeah.
surprise them.
Yeah, it's really interesting, that pitfall. So this feels like a curveball to the audience. I'm just interested to see if they can knock it out of the park or not.
I don't envy their task.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's a reason that I should be upset about the Robert Downey Jr. thing now, after you talking about that. But I don't feel like... It's one of those things where it's like, I'm shocked by it. It seems surprising. But I don't think you'd do a bad job.
I'll say
you
the
know?
only thing that upsets me is just I've spent a lot of time in my head fan casting Doctor Doom, just because he's, like they said, one of the most important characters in the Marvel,
yeah.
bar none, really, when it comes to villains. And now Robert Downey Jr. will do another one of those roles. You know,
Yeah.
we've had like some characters are in Luke Cage and then they appear in Avengers, or some actors and they're different
Yeah.
characters, but you're kind of like their background. It's not that big of a deal, but
you-
this is a big deal.
Do you think he'll be in Secret Wars, I'm assuming, then,
Yeah.
and Doomsday? Will he be in Fantastic Four as well?
I would
Or is that
assume-
going to be a separate entity.
It might be separate, but I imagine at the very least you're going to have someone like Reed Richards. You don't introduce Reed Richards and it doesn't change everything, you know?
Well, sure.
I imagine like that's all going to fit into this like
Reed Richards would probably be
multiversal
important into the Secret Wars.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
That's going to be a thing you need.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're able to bring the because Fantastic Four is like the first family, and you have to bring all this history with Fantastic Four, but we literally do not have that history in the MCU. So if you're going to recontextualize things, why not do it with the guy that started the MCU? You know, so I can see where they're going.
Okay.
I just already had to subvert. It's already subverted an expectation I had, which is like, who would play Doctor Doom in my fan casting?
It could be interesting if you had, like, especially in the multiversal idea,
Yeah.
which is what we've been building with Kang and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's this multiverse stuff. But
And
if you have
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man started it here in the MCU, but you have Robert Downey Jr. Doom version started it here with the Fantastic Four in a different universe.
Man,
and it just builds up.
it feels like it feels like that's the direction you would go. Like, why else would you get him to do that?
Okay, I didn't think about that. It's interesting.
But again, I still have a little bit of apprehension just because this is a wild swing. But I'm excited for that Fantastic Four cast. Thunderbolts looks pretty fun. It really seems like they have heard a certain outcry of the MCU feels a little directionless right now. So they're like, all right, we have a direction, Secret Wars, and they're going to get there. So I'm a little like disappointed about Kang stuff.
Just what they've
like. It feels like we've completely dropped Kang. I understand why with the actor, but why not just recast? I mean, we had Harrison Ford up here doing Rage Monster stuff, and he's a recast. I don't think it's a big deal, but we've seemed like we've dropped Kang. Maybe that's another reason we went Robert Downey Jr. It's like, all right, we gotta go real big then. So we're really gonna change things up. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with Kang yet. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stories still left there that they've, like, he's all over the place,
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what the goal is.
I guess you can sweep it under the rug if you wanted to with Loki.
Can you? With the tree,
with
whatever?
yeah, I suppose,
Maybe.
but
sure.
I don't know. It's an interesting time because Marvel has sat on the top of the world for so long, but like so many things in the last year or two, like things were rocky. People weren't liking directions. They like to fight and yell at each other for art opinions. Like it's got to be tough, like trying to sell movies these days. And this is the angle they're going. And hey, I'm intrigued. I'm ready. Tell me a story.
No, it'd be interesting. I'm more excited for Fantastic Four now, having seen like the family up there, like Pedro, also like Richie, the actor, I forget his name,
Evan.
but
I'm so excited because every role I've seen him in, he always has this quality of realism to him, like he doesn't feel like he's reciting lines, like it feels like he's just saying them, and to bring that to what is a very streamlined, controlled process, like a CG
Rock Monster
performance capture character, Rock Monster, that must move differently and stuff. Like, I'm interested to see him dive into that role.
Yeah. Hope the Thing looks good.
Yeah.
I'll be curious. I think the Thing in the first movies that I remember was pretty good. I didn't like it as much in the other Fantastic Four they did.
I didn't watch that one.
I just remember seeing what he looked like, and I was like, I don't know. He wasn't like as, I don't know. He was just different.
It's tough because
I think it's like there's a line where I'm like, I want to believe the Thing's there, but I also don't want him to just look like an actual pile of rocks. You know what I mean? Like there's that image of he's this orange amalgamation.
How do you feel about Korg in the MCU?
Korg?
Yeah, he's a pile of rocks.
I mean, he sometimes is literally a pile of rocks.
Sure.
I don't know. I think also for me, I don't have the connection of him from comics or cartoons or anything.
I mean,
where you see that typical the Thing look. So
I get what you mean.
The newer one didn't have that look, and I was kind of like, I don't know. He just feels weird.
The thing about Korg is he rocks. When you look at rocks, it's hard to see rocks move because we know rocks don't move, and we don't know what rocks look like when they do move. So Korg is well, we'll make them really, really funny, and that's what you focus on. You don't think about how that pile of rocks doesn't look real, but the Thing has to be grounded, in a real person. Mm-hmm. So I can't just, make him the comedy bit, and then now I can fudge over CG. You have to really do that. So that's going to be tough, but I'm excited to see them tackle the challenge.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Make me cry about those rocks,
Cry about rocks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I would say we got some direction.
Yeah. Now we have an idea where they're going with some stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm cautiously optimistic. And you know what I'm not going to do? I don't think I'm going to go online and see any responses because I can just feel this one. This one people got real mad or real happy. Like, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
But
no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be open and see what they do with it.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
decide after.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. The MCU has bought enough grace where I hear something like that, I'm like, okay, show me. You know?
Yeah.
I
I've
do like
had
Robert Downey.
over a decade of entertainment. I'm ready for them to try different things, and this is different.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Yeah.
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 Guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our reaction to the SDCC MCU panels. Some information that's come out. We have a few more trailers, I think, at some point that we should have up here on the channel as well. So subscribe so you don't miss out on those. And I hope you enjoyed stuff from San Diego Comic-Con.
Man, no wonder they wanted us to do this first.